What if the god of love fell in love with the very girl he was sent to destroy? Long ago, a king had 3 daughters. The youngest was named Psyche, and she was so beautiful that people traveled from distant lands just to look at her. They whispered that she was more beautiful than Aphrodite herself. Temples once filled with offerings to the goddess of love began to grow quiet. Worship shifted from immortal to mortal. Aphrodite was furious. She summoned her son, Eros, and commanded him to punish the girl. He was to strike Psyche with one of his arrows and make her fall in love with the most vile creature on earth. But when Eros saw her, something unexpected happened. As he leaned close, he wounded himself with his own arrow, and the god of desire fell hopelessly in love. Despite her beauty, Psyche was lonely. Men admired her, but none dared marry her. They treated her like a goddess, not a woman. Desperate for answers, her father sought guidance from the oracle of Apollo. The prophecy was terrifying. Psyche would not marry a mortal man. She was destined to wed a monstrous winged being feared even by the gods, obeying divine command. Her grieving family left her on a mountain cliff, dressed as though for her funeral, but instead of a monster, a gentle wind lifted her into the air. The west wind carried her to a hidden valley and laid her before a magnificent palace of gold and silver. Inside, unseen servants cared for her. Soft music echoed through the halls. At night, a mysterious husband came to her. He was kind. He was tender. He loved her deeply. But there was one rule. She must never look upon his face. If you trust me, he whispered in the darkness, you will never try to see me. For a time, she obeyed, but doubt is powerful. Psyche missed her family, and her jealous sisters soon visited her. They planted fear in her heart. They reminded her of the prophecy. What if her husband was the monster? Why did he hide in darkness? Fear replaced trust. One night, while her husband slept, Psyche lit an oil lamp and slowly approached the bed, and she saw him, not a serpent, not a monster, but the most beautiful being she had ever seen. It was Eros. In shock, her hand trembled. A drop of hot oil fell onto his shoulder. He awoke and saw the lamp in her hand. He was not angry because she saw him. He was hurt because she did not trust him. Love cannot live without trust, he said softly, and he spread his wings and flew into the night. The palace vanished. The gardens disappeared. Psyche was alone. Determined to win him back, she went to Aphrodite and begged for forgiveness. The goddess, still burning with jealousy, gave her impossible tasks. First, she was ordered to sort thousands of mixed seeds before dawn. It seemed hopeless, but ants gathered and helped her finish the task. Next, she was sent to gather golden wool from wild and dangerous rams. A gentle reed whispered advice to wait until the rams slept, and she collected the wool safely. Then she was told to bring back dark water from a deadly river that flowed from jagged cliffs. An eagle descended and carried the vessel for her. Finally, Aphrodite commanded her to journey to the underworld and ask Persephone for a portion of her beauty, sealed inside a small box against all odds. Psyche completed the task and began her journey back, but curiosity stirred within her once more. What if she opened the box and made herself more beautiful for Eros? She lifted the lid. There was no beauty inside, only a deep, death-like sleep. Psyche collapsed onto the ground. Eros, healed from his wound and still deeply in love, escaped his mother's watchful eye. He found Psyche lying motionless. Gently, He brushed the sleep from her face and sealed it back inside the box. Then he kissed her, and she awakened this time. Love was stronger than fear. Eros flew to Mount Olympus and pleaded before Zeus for permission to marry her. Zeus agreed. He gave Psyche ambrosia, the drink of immortality, and she became a goddess. Even Aphrodite could no longer oppose them. Eros and Psyche were married among the gods. Their daughter was born, a child named Hidone, the embodiment of joy and pleasure. And so the mortal girl who doubted, who suffered, who endured impossible trials, became immortal, because true love does not survive without trust. But when love endures hardship, it becomes eternal.